So every other time I've traveled, you could go up to the bus terminal 10 minutes before the bus left and get your ticket. But this time, my dad laughed at me when we walked up to the gate 10 minutes before the bus was supposed to leave to get a ticket. They weren't doing anything. There was 3 or 4 other people around me that wanted a ticket as well, and they couldn't get it. So I'm not crazy. The social norms haven't totally changed in the last 10 years since I've been here. Just know that sometimes if you do want to get somewhere, and if it's critical, you might want to show up a little bit earlier than a few minutes before the bus or the train is supposed to leave. So we had to wait an extra 45 minutes, but we got to have a coffee, hang out, relax, so not a big deal in the end for us. Fortunately, we had a flexible schedule today. We also bought an open-ended ticket to come back, which means we have a ticket to come back, but we don't have a seat on a particular bus. So we can choose to come back at whatever time we want, as long as there is room on the bus. Traveling by bus is a great way to get around here in Spain. Buses are regularly scheduled to pretty much all the major cities you'd want to go to, and even the smaller ones. They're dependable, they're usually clean, and a lot of people travel by them. If you're coming from the United States, you might think, oh, buses, they're kind of expensive and slow and dirty, but here in Spain that's totally not the case. It's a really great way to get around, and it's economical. For example, on our trip today we went from Madrid to Segovia. It was just under 8 euros one way, so it'll be about 15 bucks, 15 euros, 16 euros round trip, and it's about a 1-hour trip one way. So buses are a great way to get around. So you see these little divots in the aqueduct here. Those little divots were from the little pinchers that were used, if you will, to carry these stones and set them in place over 2,000 years ago. And all these stones are set in place without any cement at all. They're just laid in perfectly. They did the engineering on them to know what they needed to, where they needed to set them and how they needed to set them. And the aqueduct has lasted here for over 2,000 years with that great engineering. There's a stairway you can take just off the one of the sides of the aqueduct. It kind of goes up a switchback, and it's a great spot to go if you want to get a view of the aqueduct from above, and I highly, pun intended, recommend it. Now we're at the top. Laura, do you know the story of the aqueduct, how it was made?
Stones without mortar.
Stones without mortars? Is that like docks without borders?
Yeah.
So the aqueduct was built over 2,000 years ago. Hey Dad, photobomb. Built over 2,000 years ago without any mortar, just all of the blocks laid into place and cut to fit, laid perfectly down, Roman engineering of the time at its finest. My dad's excited that he sees other plaid shirts here because he thought he was the only one that wore plaid in this country, but we've seen it. This is the second or third store we've seen it, so. Unless this is just for tourists. That's a good sign.
They're all made in Spain. We'll see.
Just finished lunch at the Mesón Mayor. Good food. They had some cochinillo, Laura had some sopa castellana, all sorts of other good stuff. Reasonably priced, a little bit higher priced because we're right here on the Plaza Mayor in Segovia, so it's a little bit more of a touristy trap type thing. So it was on the higher end of things, but not overly outrageous, but you can find cheaper if you want a little bit more outside of the touristy areas, just not right next to the Plaza Mayor, just not right on the main stretch heading to and from the bus station to the aqueduct. Overall, good meal. Are you gonna get married again here? So this is a picture that we had painted of when Laura and I first met at the bar. So there's me and there's my friend Jason. We're just kind of hanging out, and all of a sudden Laura comes in out of nowhere with like just people all around her. So I'm really excited that they had this finished by the time we got here for our trip. It's been a good long day of walking. We probably walked upwards of 5, 6, 7 miles maybe. Mom's tired here.
Up and down.
We're headed back to the bus station.
Stairs.
We've got about an hour ride back to Madrid. And then, not sure what we have in store for the rest of the night, but back to the bus station, back to Madrid. So we didn't quite make it to the 6:45 bus. We hustled and shuffled, but we're just a couple of people short to get confirmed for our open-ended ticket back to Madrid. So we got confirmed for the next bus, 7:30, 45 minutes extra here, not a big deal. My folks are back at the bus station chilling out. Laura and I are just gonna wander a little bit here and hang out for a few minutes before we head back, and then we'll head back to Madrid.